you know who he was gonna pick?
We told him to. We've been telling him all day. From the moment he left his hotel room, we've been priming him, programming his subconscious. He's been seeing the number 55 all day long. On the elevator, in the lobby, even the stick pin on the doormat. Not only that, we loaded his route from the hotel to the stadium. He looks out the window, primers are everywhere. Now he doesn't see it, but he does. There's no getting around it. He even sees Farhad. Suggestions are everywhere, from the number of flowers in a vase.
That is genius.
Yeah, and it's not only what he sees, it's what he hears. The Mandarin word for 5 is Wu. There are 124 woo-woos in sympathy for the devil. Now, he's not registering it, but it's all there. So when he picks up those binoculars, looks out on the field, sees a familiar face with the number 55 on his jersey, some little voice in the back of his mind says, that's it. And he thinks it's intuition, and he picks.
The longer a person watches television, the more easily the brain slips into alpha level, a slow, steady brainwave pattern in which the mind is in its most receptive mode. Images and suggestions are implanted directly into the mind without viewer participation. An effective hypnosis is induced, and the viewer surrenders to the unending television image stream.
The television. And once television was in our homes, it would change the way we entertain ourselves, and it would change the way we think.
Every country and every culture, storytelling has significant power.
And once television was in our homes, it would change the way we entertain ourselves, and it would change the way we think. It would change the way we entertain ourselves, and it would change the way we think. We entertain ourselves, and it would change the way we think.
Every country and every culture, storytelling has significant power. The stories that we are told via books, our screens, and advertising build identities, determine behaviors, and forge our dreams. American researchers found that stories repeated in our minds actually interact with our biology. Our brains need shortcuts to simplify and organize information and data constantly coming at us. They impact how we view the world and make meaning from what we perceive. The narrative we tell and are told has the potential to create and continue prejudiced beliefs by those few who dominate the storytelling sphere.
But each advertisement you ingest slowly but surely alters your perspective. You can't see it happening, and you'll hardly ever notice the difference, but your mind is being made up for you. His data revealed that certain ads were ineffective at first, but had a significant impact over time. In other words, your opinion might be exactly the same after your first viewing, and even your second, and your third. As time goes by, that message will have a larger and larger effect on you. It worms its way into your brain, changing the way you think, behave, and live your life. But how does it work? In his repetition. These ads get played all the time. You may not remember them, but you've been watching these sleeper ads every day for weeks or months at a time. Whether you like it or not, the media influences your opinions. It changes your preferences. It even controls your lifestyle. Now, it may not always be obvious or direct, but it's still happening. You just take those
as executive abilities. I like to summarize it by having a role that you'd expect from a chief executive officer of a corporation, making strategic decisions, monitoring the performance of those activities, making corrections en route, and so on. It's also the source of social behavior. It turns out that humans are particularly visual animals. A lot of the information Humans are particularly visual animals. A lot of the information that is required for relating to the environment is visual. And so a lot of the posterior part of the neocortex is devoted to complex visual processing beyond the primary visual cortex. So that I think of it as a gradual reconstruction. Well, what you see is not necessarily a carbon copy of reality. What you see is a gradual coding and reconstruction of the signal in neurologic terms. And in that process, a lot of interpretation goes on.
So Dr. Mendez says the frontal lobe is like our command center. It's like where we make all these executed decision-making processes. That our perception of reality is based upon what we basically take in through our visual cortex. Now, question, could you change someone's reality based on what you give them visually to watch?
You go to the store to buy some chips or a soda, think about why you're choosing that specific product. Do you just like the taste? Did you see an ad that sold you a feeling or a lifestyle? Or has the media unconsciously changed your opinion? Has your constant exposure to certain brands, companies, and influencers transformed the way you think? It's tempting to say no. No one likes to think their views may not be their own, but that's the power of the sleeper effect. You'll keep thinking they're your choices, your opinions, and your habits, but the media has been worming its way into your mind for your whole life, and it isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Ahaya, Alon, Shalom, planet Earth. Welcome to TRU-TALK. Thank you for being here. Just want to put my 2 cents in at the end of this video that it's a little glitchy. I had put it together a while ago, uh, and I could get deeper with this, but I just wanted to make a short video to show how we are being programmed through the media, through the things you ever heard the saying, he's a product of his environment. You ever wonder why people from the hood or ghetto feel and think the way they feel, different from the people that was born and raised in the suburb? The movies we look at, the things we fed on a daily basis, it all got to do with who we are. You know, we are being molded. I always say through our life, you be molded into the adult that you are through direct or indirect things. Music, growing up, looking back, just for example, like I always liked the dark skinned women. Now, I love black women's period. I know uh, our beautiful women, Hebrew women, come in different shades and colors. But for some reason, I always had a thing for dark skinned women. But growing up, I never chased or tried to pursue a dark skinned woman. And it was always around, when the fellas talk, they'll be like, ooh, get you a red bone. It's always like putting the red bone or the light skinned women's on top. A light skinned woman with big hips, a big butt. And so that's the type of woman that we'll pursue. And this is the type of woman that's being put on the pedestal. And you look on the videos back then and the videos today, it's the same women that's being promoted. If it ain't white women or mixed women, it's a light skinned woman. And before the Most High snapped me out of this programming, uh, I never pursued a dark skinned woman, even though I liked it, a dark skinned woman. And deep inside, I know That's what I prefer. But something was telling me, nah, you like a light skinned woman. Nah, that's the woman to get. Or even in my younger years, uh, where I thought all black women were just crackheads and no good. And I wanted a white woman, during my elementary, middle school years. And then my nephew came to me and he said the same thing. He said, I'm gonna get me a white girl because all the black women are crackheads and no good and not smart and ghetto. And I was like, huh, where did you get this from? And I had to talk with him and I told him that that's not true and he should love his kind of people. And he's a grown man now and he's dating uh Hebrews, black women. But where did he get that idea from? And then I remember when I was his age, I had the same idea. And it's the movies we watch, the things they tell us in these movies. I give you an example. Martin, a homeless show, right? Martin. But that homeless show had a light skinned woman and a dark skinned woman. Now you can ask anybody, Pam, look wise, body wise, cute Gina. Like Pam was a 10. Pam had a beautiful body, beautiful dark skin, beautiful figure, beautiful face. And Gina was, you know, she was just a plain light skinned, skinny woman. But who got picked at? Who got called a dog and animals and said her breath was stinking? Uh, said she was wearing horsehair and made like she was lonely and couldn't get a man. The dark skinned woman, even though she looked better than the light skinned woman, and what that do self consciously to people, you say, well, I don't want to date a dark skinned woman because she's gonna get picked that people ain't gonna respect me with a dark skinned woman. But if I get just a natural looking light skinned woman, even though she might not look that good, just because she got lighter skin, people, I'm gonna be more accepted by my peers. I'm gonna be more accepted by the people around me. I'm gonna get high five if I get a thick girl with a big booty. She might not gotta look that good, but she thick with a big booty and light skin, then they'll say you got you one. And this the program, and I challenge people, especially men. Go back and even the women's. Look at every movie that you looked at from the childhood up, always from the 50s to now, and look at the characters they have playing. Look at the roles the dark skinned women played and the roles the light skinned women played. And how we all know how every movie they have the black man chasing after the white woman. Like when the Most High brought it to my attention, opened my eyes, it was so clear. I forgot what movie I was watching, but they had a movie where there was black women on the movie, but this black dude, he was annoying the black women, and he was just acting like the white woman was just whoa, just the thing to be with. He was chasing her, and she wasn't even good looking. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. That's the programming. Who writing these movies? Who having these black men slobbing out the mouth, acting like the white woman or the light skinned woman or the mixed woman is the thing to be with? Until even in today's uh, commercials and movies, they really have a Negro couple together with a Negro family. And if they do, it always be dysfunctional somehow. But we have been programmed. We are being programmed. And this is what it means to escape the matrix. To understand what you're being fed on a daily basis. And what we be fed, guess what? It affects our opinions. It affects our thoughts of what we think is beauty or not, what we think is sexy or not, what we think is acceptable or not. And it starts with vision and hearing. They all got to do with what you put in you, what you hear on a daily basis, and what you see on a daily basis. What's your environment? How many songs I grew up listening to talking about a red bone? I got to get me a red bone. As soon as I find me a red bone. Or how many songs I grew up listening to talking about, yeah, this is the life, the thug life. You know, there's no other life I'd rather be than to be thugging. And all these things we listen to, the raps, the movies, the people that we are around is also being programmed, and they feel and see this way, and they even uh further our opinions and thoughts. And it's all come down to we are being manipulated because they know the brain. These people, they are psychiatrists, they study the body, they study the brain, they study people. That's why on certain channels, when you turn to a black channel, it's violence. But if you turn to a white channel, it's more family oriented movies. It's more movies about husbands and wife and getting back together. But if you go to the black movies, it's about being a player. He cheated on me, I'm gonna get back at him. Men's no good. The women's ain't no good. Selling drugs. You know how many movies black people are gonna make about being gangsters? The new movies they came out with was what? Well, me see what the Black Mafia family, BMF, that people are gonna glorify. And they're like, you know, well, white people got their gangsters. Why can't we have our gangsters? Because we are different people. Because we are being exploited. Because we ain't got nothing. Because even though they got their gangsters they can look at and analyze, they also got role models to show them the right way. But these gangsters become our idols and role models. Because a lot of us ain't got no uh, idols or role models, no daddy figures. So just want to give my 2 cents and hopefully bring a little bit clarity and understanding to what you watch. And at the end it says, so what have the Negro boys been seeing all their life? And just go and look at the movie of Will Smith, uh, Wesley Snipes, uh, Denzel, all these famous black men, how they always be in a movie where they some type of way sexually involved or interested in a white woman, or she's not white, she's light skinned or mixed. And uh, this has got to be exposed. This has got to be understood so we can change our way of thinking. Even the scripture says, read the scripture, renew your mind daily. That don't become transformed in this world, but transform yourself and do I can't say it right. I said, but don't become confound to this world, but transform yourself and know the things that please the Most High. Because, you know, I was looking at reading an old book, and it was saying that in Africa, beauty, a dark-skinned woman with big lips and wide nose was considered a beauty. So how did that change? Because we let people come into our minds and say, you know what, this is not what beauty look like. But because I want to prop up my people, I'm going to say beauty got skinny nose and no lips. in a light skin instead of dark skin. But we need to understand that there's a game being played. They are playing checkers. No, they are playing chess, and we still think it's checkers. But I say don't even be part of the game, cause the game is rigged. Even though they playing uh chess, just don't be a part of the game. Don't be a part of this system. Detox. Just that's when you got filthy stuff in your body that's making it not perform right. You gotta detox your mind. Turn the TV off. Turn the movies off. Be careful what you look at, what you in. Till next time, Shalom.